hello, everyone, and welcome to Proline, the longest-running sports handicapping show in America. I'm John Cranton in Las Vegas, joined by Jeff Sod, who's been running Las Vegas Sports Services for 19 years, and, of course, world champion handicapper Jim Feist. We've got a slate of college basketball games going this weekend, Friday and Saturday, to look at. But first, Jim Feist, you cleaned up on the Super Bowl. I mean, for 2 weeks, I had heard you around the office saying if you're on Denver, you're on the wrong side. The public might have been on Peyton, but the Sharps were certainly on Seattle.
Yeah, they had the wrong favorite in that game. It was pretty obvious to some of us in the way we looked at the game. And Denver had not played a good defense all year. I mean, a top-level defense all year, and they just got smoked. I hear these people knocking Peyton Manning. He's a great quarterback. He just doesn't have a great team. He's a great quarterback on a good team. The other team happens to be a great defensive ball club. Anyway, that's behind us. Winning college basketball weekend. I was 3-0 with my high roller releases with Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Virginia. And my Summit League game on Nebraska-Omaha was another big winner, too. Nailed the Super Bowl, side and total, finished the NFL season on a 49-24-1 run. Just absolutely incredible, and hit my last 9 totals in the pros. So that was a great way to finish up. College basketball game of the year goes on Saturday. It's a $250 game online, but you can get it for $25, and you can play right through the Sunday hoops. That's $25 for this $250 game of the year, and you play right through Sunday's hoops in the NBA and college. That comes with a guarantee. You win the game, or you'll play the rest of the season for free on me. That's right. You win the game, or you play the rest of the season for free. It's $25. You call 1-866-841-1655. That's 1-866-841-1655.
All right, it's John? Game of the Year weekend. Make sure you get on board. Jeff, you've had quite a few runs, 33-14 in the NFL. You're currently on a college basketball run of 34-20 in these blockbuster high roller plays that you give out. 11-1 in the NFL for the season, and currently on a 6-1 run in college. What do you have going this weekend?
Yeah, my blockbusters are the top release that I have. 6-1 in college. I had a Missouri State for my blockbuster on Saturday. This week, I'm going to give you 5 days for $5. That will include a conference TV game of the month on Saturday. So I'm going to get plays every day for 5 days, plus a TV game of the month, all for just $5. Just call WSS 1-866-575-8916. That's 1-866-575-8916.
All right, and Mr. Vegas has a special. You can play right through Sunday with him for $15. It's going to include Saturday's college basketball total of the year. All this for $15. College and NBA, 1-866-896-1627. All right, guys, we have first game. It's going to be the Friday night Big East battle. You got a high-octane Villanova team. They're steamrolling opponents, battling Creighton for first place. And then you got this Seton Hall team, Jim. They're kind of off a defensive win over Xavier, 68-60. Boy, can they slow down the Wildcats at all?
Well, people have tried to. It hasn't been very successful. Villanova's incredible basketball team. I don't think anybody really expected them to be this good. But this team's 24-8, following a straight-up win. They're 21-8 against the team with a winning record. The Seton Hall lives by the 3, 40%, but their defense is 8th in the Big East in field goal defense. High-scoring game with Seton Hall going 12-4 over the total, and Villanova 20-8 over the total. Villanova came back in the game the other day, 53-36 in the second half. Just an incredible team this year. Seton Hall will have a tough time, but the line will be pretty steep as well.
Yeah, this Villanova team ranked number 9 in the country. They've not only been winning games at 20-2, but they've been covering too, 15-5 against the spread. If you like to play totals, great over team with their up-tempo attack, 11-3 run over the total, 20-8 run overall. And they just came back from a very impressive 3-game road trip. They won at Marquette in overtime. They beat a banged-up Georgetown team in a slowdown game, 65-60. That was Georgetown style. And then they blew out Temple. And then they had the home win blowing out Xavier. So they've been able to win with different kinds of styles. If you want to slow it down, they've been fine with their defense. And, of course, they love to run and gun. The Seton Hall team, 13-9 straight up. pretty good offense. They're second in the Big East in three-point shooting at 40%. So that's the way that I think they're going to go with this game, try and shoot from long range to hang with them. They've also been an undervalued team. The Pirates are 6-0 against the spread. In their last 6 road games, also 5-1 ATS against the Big East. So they've been covering some numbers. Overall, though, I think this is going to be kind of a high-scoring game because Seton Hall has been impressive when stepping up. They went to Xavier, stopped Xavier's 13-game winning streak. They went to Providence back on New Year's Day and ended the Friars' 13-game home winning streak. So, Jeff, I'm wary about backing this Villanova team, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a high-scoring game on Friday night.
Yeah, and Seton Hall caught Xavier on a bad day, ended the Musketeers' 13-game home winning streak on Saturday. Xavier made only 2 of 14 three-point attempts, missed 12 free throws. And now Seton Hall has to play Villanova, which blew away Xavier on Monday, 81-58. Villanova's only 2 losses this year have been at Syracuse, now the number 1 team in the country, and against Creighton in that game where the Blue Jays just shot the lights out. So, and the Wildcats 15-5 against the spread. They won't take the Pirates lightly. Last year, Seton Hall won by a point at home in last year's meeting. This year, after Seton Hall lost to Butler, there was some dissension among the players, so maybe that was enough to wake up the team and maybe it has something to do with the way they played against Xavier. So I think I'm going to take Villanova to win this game by double digits. I just don't see, especially after last year when they lost to him by 1 point, I just don't see Seton Hall. They won some big road games. Right now, Villanova is just blowing most teams away. I'm going to take Villanova to win by double digits, John.
Okay, very good. All right, guys, we have a Saturday game. Let's move on to the Big 12. You get this Oklahoma State team. They're off a showdown with Iowa State on Monday, and boy, what a thriller that was in triple overtime that they lost. One of the top offensive teams in the nation. And even last Saturday at home against Baylor, they tripped up and lost 76-70. Haven't been playing very good in Big 12 play, Jim. Just 3-7 against the spread, and they're kind of desperate for a win here against a 500 Texas Tech team that's just 3-6 in the conference. Although they are pretty good at home, 9-4. Jim, can they slow the Cowboys down at all?
Well, the problem with the Cowboys is they're going to have to stop somebody, and that's their issue. I mean, they lost to Kansas, Oklahoma, both on the road, and then they come home, and they're playing Baylor, who had been playing absolutely terrible, and they didn't look good. I watched that entire game. I've been having a super run in college hoops, but this team I have been out of sync with for the last couple of weeks. I expected Oklahoma State to be in better position coming into this game against Texas Tech, and now they're coming off a triple overtime loss, another home loss. So they've lost 4 in a row, and this is it's a pretty desperate time for them. They got the talent, but they're not putting it together right now. They're out of sync.
Yeah, this Texas Tech team, they're not winning games. They've lost 3 out of 4, but they are covering 3-1 against the spread. They went to West Virginia, lost by just 6 points, and they played a slowdown game at Kansas State, lost by just 7. It's kind of a 2-man show. They're limited offensively with Crockett and Tolbert, but they are very good at home, 9-3 against the spread at home. And this Oklahoma State team, as you mentioned, plenty of offense, but boy, they got to find some defense at some point. They're tops in the Big 12 in shooting the basketball, and they're very good in free throws at 77%, but that defense has been a problem of late. When they lost to Baylor, Baylor shot 52% from the field. Baylor hit 11 of 23 threes, and then the Iowa State game on Monday, they allowed 10 of 31 threes, so defense is certainly a concern. Keep in mind that Oklahoma State just 3-8 against the spread in Big 12 play. The one bright spot for Oklahoma State, if you want to call it that, is that they did play Texas Tech twice last year and absolutely blew the doors off them, 79-45 and 91-67. Jeff, I got to believe Texas Tech is going to try and play more of the slow down style because they don't want to run, and they're actually pretty good. They're second in the Big 12 in scoring defense, and this Texas Tech team is tops in 3-point shooting defense, just 30%. So with small lean to Texas Tech, but I kind of like the under in this game. I think Texas Tech is going to control the pace, and keep in mind the Red Raiders are on a 12-4-1 run under the total. Jeff, how do you see this thing shaping up?
Yeah, it seems to be about the only chance this game to slow down the pace. Tubby Smith's doing the best he can with his Texas Tech squad, but it's going to take at least a couple of years to rebuild this program. The only decent team the Red Raiders have beaten this season is Baylor, and they had to shoot 57% to do that. Oklahoma State, as you said, it's surprising they've on this losing streak, but the defense has been good. Also, their three-point shooting has been average last 3 games. They've only hit 19 out of 60 from three-point range. That triple overtime game at Monday night might take its toll. It was an emotional night. It was Eddie Sutton night, and then they lose, and now they have to go on the road, so that's always a tough thing to do. They have plenty of talent, Oklahoma State, Marcus Smart, Markel Brown, LeBron Nash, so it's hard to pinpoint exactly what the problem is here other than probably the weakness on the defensive end and maybe the outside shooting, but I'm not sure how to go with this game because Texas Tech has that revenge factor, but they're really not they're really not very good. So I'll probably lay off the game. If I had to pick the winner here, I'd say Oklahoma State by 3 or 4 points.
Okay, guys, before we get to our Pac-12 rivalry game on Saturday, I'm going to tell you how you can get some free picks every day sent right to your cell phone. If you want to get them from Dave Koken, just text Koken, C-O-K-I-N, to 313131. And Jim, people can get plays to your cell phone or to their cell phone right from you every single day for free.
Absolutely. It's the easiest way to go, and you really should do this because we send them right to your phone. Right to your cell phone every day. Just text WINNER, WINNER, to 313131, and we will send you a free play right to your cell phone each and every day.
Okay, our last game, guys, you got UCLA and USC out west. USC has home court in this city rivalry game. And this UCLA team, they stumbled against Oregon State the last game, but still, they're still a top 20 offense. Meanwhile, Jim, you get this USC team that's 10-12 overall, just 1-8 in the Pac-12. 2 games remaining, of course, against UCLA. Here's one of them. This might be the Trojans' Super Bowl, but can they find some defense?
Well, these teams met on January 5th, and UCLA won that game 107-73. And UCLA shot 57%, USC 42%. This is a real mismatch. It's an inner city rivalry, so you're not dealing with a lot of travel issues here. I mean, it's across town. It's a big rivalry, whether it's football, basketball, anything. And these teams really want to get after each other, so they're going to do that. I don't think you're going to see much of a letdown from UCLA, especially after coming off the loss. But it is tough to get up for a team that you beat by 34 points the first time you played them only a month ago. So that comes into play. This definitely, this 17-5 straight-up team, UCLA, is far superior to USC. So it's going to depend on what kind of line we see on the game. This comes down to a number play for me, and we have to see that number.
Okay, this UCLA team, they're winding up a 3-game road trip here. They did lose at Oregon State on Sunday by 4 points. They were a 5-point favorite in the game. And they love to run the basketball. They're top 20 in the country in scoring. They're 8th in the nation in shooting, almost 50%. Tops in the Pac-12 in scoring. And this defense, surprisingly, is good for the Bruins. They're 2nd in field goal shooting defense, just 42%. And here's a USC team that's 1-8 in the Pac-12. They're not winning games or covering, 3-7 against the spread. In fact, against the Pac-12, they're just 2-10 against conference opponents. And here's why. They struggle offensively, but they're last in scoring defense, giving up 82 points per game. They can't hit free throws, just 64% from the line. In the most recent game they played against Oregon, they did get the cover. They were a 13-point dog, lost the game by 12 points, but still they were 14 of 22 from the line, just 63%. So if you're betting a team that can't hit freebies and it's coming right down in the last minute to covering a game or not, you don't want to have a team like USC at the line clanking freebies that you may need to get the cover. So that's a big part of why this team can't cover. I got to believe that USC is going to want to slow this game to a crawl. Jimmy, you mentioned that first game was an absolute blowout. USC did beat this UCLA team in one of the meetings last year and allowed 38% shooting. It was a 75-71 win, and that was an overtime win. Oddly enough, at UCLA, the visiting team won both these games, which can happen in these rivalry area games. And keep in mind, UCLA is just so good on defense, 42% shooting. They're on a 17-4-1 run under the total when they play on the road. So, Jeff, I'm looking for more of a slower pace here than the first meeting.
Yeah, but it's nice. I'm kind of like a UCLA fan myself. It's nice to see the Bruins playing up-tempo after all those years with Ben Howland. Howland didn't really care about offense. He was a totally defensive coach. Anything that happened on the offensive end was almost incidental. So it's good to see UCLA back to the days where they play more exciting basketball. But they're coming off a terrible game against Oregon State on Sunday. They shot 39% from the field. Jordan Adams was 0 for 9. They missed a good opportunity to gain the game on Arizona. They had 3 big runs before that versus Stanford, Cal, and Oregon. They just weren't into it on Sunday. It looked like they were looking ahead to watching the Super Bowl. It was just one of those games where they just looked terrible. The first meeting, as Jim said, they blew out SC. They were favored by 12.5, won by 34. USC was getting blown out a lot earlier in the season. Now they're usually making it competitive. They lost 3 in a row, but 2 of those were in overtime versus Stanford, Oregon State. SC is playing better, but they're in revenge. Bruins will be focused coming off a loss, but I'll still give the edge UCLA in this game. As you said, the SC might want to try to slow it down, but they really don't like to do that with new coach Andy Enfield. So I'm not sure if they can control the tempo or not, but I'll take UCLA to once again win this game by double digits, John.
Okay, let's get to some best bets and tell everybody what we have going on. I'm going to go with Texas Tech and the Oklahoma State game under the total. Texas Tech on that 12-4-1 run under the total. If you want to get on board with Mr. Vegas, he has his college total of the year going on Saturday. You can play right through Sunday and get that play for $15. 1-866-896-1627. Jeff, you're on that 34-20 college basketball run. The blockbusters are just coming through. 11-1 in the NFL, 6-1 in college, and you have a big special and a TV game going on Saturday.
Yeah, I made Villanova my best bet on the show, and now you got to get 5 days for $5, including my conference TV game of the month that goes on Saturday. Just call LVSS 1-866-575-8916. 5 days, $5, including a conference TV game of the month. $5. 1-866-575-8916.
Well, Jim, you have the big one going on Saturday, and I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. That you already cashed in on. You have your college basketball game of the year going Saturday, $250 online. How can folks get a piece of that?
Well, it's real easy. Just write this number down and call it right away, 1-866-841-1655. It's $25. You can get this $250 value game, the college basketball game of the year, which lines up perfectly. We're most of the way through the season before the tournaments start, and these teams are really shaping up to, and then we know them so much better than we did before the season started as well. Now, you can play also through Sunday. It's all for $25. You get the big game, you play through Sunday, 1-866-841-1655. The game has to win, or you can play the rest of the season in college basketball for free on me. That's 1-866-841-1655. Now, as far as the best bet's concerned, it's real tough at this moment because most of the games we just talked about I actually have a pretty good feel for, except for the line. But, I look for Oklahoma State. They're far superior to the team they're playing here, and they're coming off all these losses. It's very meaningful for them to get back in track. They have the talent. The coaching has got to get it together, and I'm not too sure that they can step up their defense, but against a team that struggles the way this team does, I think they can come in here and win the game and cover.
All right, very good, guys. That's going to do it for this week of Proline. Thanks for joining us, everyone. If you want plays from Jim Feist, Jeff Sod, and Mr. Vegas and more, go to jimfeist.com. Good luck with the games, everyone, and we'll see you next week with another edition of Proline.